It's National Food Allergy Week. Joining us, it's Dr. Robert Weiss from CTENT in Norwalk, Star 99.9 in Siena and Raven. I think that the big thing that we should talk about to start with is the fact that the National Institute of Health has changed the rules about when to introduce peanuts and tree nuts to young babies.
Yes, that's been kind of percolating now for a couple of years, based mostly on a 2015 sort of landmark study. It's a big change in what the Academy of Pediatrics has been recommending, and there's a lot of confusion around it. When the initial reports came out a few years ago, a lot of the news articles were saying you can give your child peanuts, which is really a very dangerous thing to do in children that young. You really have to be very careful about what type of food product we're talking about. None of these guidelines are recommending that you give a young child 6 months of age, for example, peanuts.
Right, I was going to say, like, my 5-month-old can't even finish her applesauce. Like, that's
Right.
stage one.
Right.
I can't imagine giving her some
The silent
nuts.
killer.
Right.
I mean, I give some to my dog. Is that bad?
Could be. Also, peanut butter at that age, you have to be very careful. There's so much more to it. It depends on the age of the child, their development level, and whether or not they're at risk for a severe peanut allergy. This has to be done very, very carefully. To determine all of these factors, I would encourage parents out there to really have a good conversation with your pediatrician. You may end up needing to go see a pediatric immunologist to really determine what's appropriate, which product, what age, whether or not it has to be supervised, medically supervised as far as the initial application, or can it be done at home?
Yeah.
A lot of questions that need to be answered before you just go ahead and give your child a peanut product like that.
Explain this to you, Raven. It was like you weren't supposed to give peanuts to your kids till they were at least 2 years old.
Right.
So
Right.
this is a major step to say, introduce your 4-month-old. And my daughter has eczema, and I read that because she has
Right.
eczema, she runs into the high-risk category.
She's in the high risk.
So
Right.
is this a situation where you're trying to build up some sort of immunity to it or resistance to it?
Right.
Or we're just testing for the
Yeah,
fun of
no.
it?
Let's just see what happens to these babies.
This is why it's so much more fun to be a mad scientist and not a responsible physician.
Right.
It's Allergy Week, and Dr. Weiss from CTENT in Norwalk joining us.
That's where the study was so interesting. What it really showed was if you introduced the peanut protein at an early age, around 6 months, and you continued that to age 5, the children that got the peanut protein introduced had like an 80% reduction in the ultimate development of peanut allergy versus the children that didn't get the protein introduced, which is what changed the thinking on this all around. So it's a way to not allow the immune system to become sensitized in a harmful way later in life when these kids get exposed to peanuts.
Now, I read that 1 in 13 kids has allergies to food. Do you
Right.
think that because they delayed it for so long, that's the reason why so many children have these allergies at this point?
That's a really good question. Unfortunately, there's too many variables that go into why we're seeing, just in general, an exponential increase in allergies in kids and adults for that matter.
Yeah,
So,
that's my question, Doctor.
environmental allergies,
do you feel there's
food
more?
allergies. Absolutely, yeah. We can show you curves where it's just sweeping up. It's hard to really pin down what's the specific thing that's causing that. Some people say, well, maybe we're just more aware of it now than we were 40 years ago. I think there's more to it than that, though.
We're seeing, different conditions aggravated by allergies that people may not even be aware that they have.
That's true. We see this every day. Patients can come in with a variety of symptoms, but it's not a classic allergy symptom, yet they can have very significant allergies that affect their quality of life, and they deserve treatment.
All good information. Dr. Robert Weiss joining us from CTENT in Norwalk. And I know we're talking about food allergies because it's National Food Allergy Awareness Week, but also with the seasonal allergies out there, I want to let you know that the drops that my daughter Hayden that you prescribed
Yes.
are already working.
That's
and
amazing.
Her allergies are already 10 times better, the pollen, than they've been
Yes.
in the years prior. So thank you very much for
Terrific.
that, too.
It's great news.
And if people want to learn more about you or they need an ENT doctor, where do they go?
We're located in Norwalk. Our website is ct-ent.com. Give us a call and come on in. We're happy to do what we can to help.